friends, today we have a great recipe. It's called Chinese barbecue pork. Delicious.
Alternative is just to use red food coloring, which doesn't affect the taste. For almost all of our recipes, we film everything twice just to have more camera angles. So for this one, we made a batch with half a teaspoon of red food coloring and a batch without it. For comparison, you can see what both versions look like after they've been cooked and chopped. They both taste the exact same, which is to say they are absolutely amazing. Prepare our pork for the oven. To make Char Siu, you'll need a few things: a baking pan, a baking rack, tongs, and aluminum foil. This is optional, but you might also want to use a meat thermometer that allows you to monitor the internal temperature of the pork as it's cooking. My dad literally chuckled at me when I asked him about this and said, "We don't cook this way." But since I haven't yet acquired my dad's intuition in the kitchen, I like to use these whenever I cook big pieces of meat. The last thing we'll do before placing our tray in the oven is to add about 1 to 2 tablespoons of water to the pan. This helps to generate a bit of steam to help the pork stay moist, and it also helps to prevent the drippings from burning and smoking. Earlier, we started preheating our oven at 425 degrees Fahrenheit or 218 degrees Celsius. Now we'll be placing our pork into the oven and taking it out periodically to lather it again with either our leftover pork marinade or 2 tablespoons of honey diluted with about 2 teaspoons of water. Here's how my dad split up the cooking time. We'll cook for 15 minutes and lather both sides with the pork marinade. Cook for another 15 minutes and lather both sides with the pork marinade again. Cook for 10 minutes and lather both sides with the diluted honey. And finally, we'll turn up the heat to 450 degrees Fahrenheit, cook for another 5 minutes, lather both sides with honey, and let it cool for a few minutes before cutting into it. In total, this was about 50 minutes in the oven.
Okay, first thing we're gonna do, we are going to wash the pork. I usually wash the pork or chicken with water and vinegar. Here's the vinegar, see it? And we're gonna pour water. To wash your chicken or your meat, because you don't know who touched it. You see? Wash your chicken and wash your meat. We're gonna dry it. We're gonna dry your meat first with a paper towel. Now after drying your meat, you have to poke it with a fork. So it will absorb all the marinade. Poke it well on each side for about 2 minutes. Make sure this is going to absorb. Turn it around. Poke it really good. it marinate. We'll put it inside a plastic bag. Remember, after handling any meat, fish, or chicken, we have to wash our hands immediately to avoid any bacteria. Now, restaurants use red food coloring, but at home you don't need to do this. You could use red wine. We're going to use 1 tablespoon of garlic salt, 1 tablespoon of garlic salt, 4 tablespoons of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce, 2 tablespoons of light soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of Hoisin sauce, 2 tablespoons of red wine, 1 tablespoon of Shaoxing wine, cooking wine, Shaoxing wine, 1 cube of fermented bean curd, this will give it the color, or you could use the food coloring, but at home we could use this. Use 1 cube and drop it in there. 1 teaspoon of 5-spice powder. 1 teaspoon 5-spice powder. Then mix all the ingredients together to marinate the meat, and we will place this inside a plastic bag 5 to 8 hours in the fridge. Now after it's refrigerated, you take it out and you leave it out at room temperature, maybe about half an hour, and then you can start cooking it. Don't cook it right after you take it out of the fridge. It's not the same thing. You have to let it settle. For this recipe, you could use pork butt, pork neck, or pork belly. Those are the best ones for this delicious meal. Now, after mixing up all the ingredients, we are going to place the meat inside this plastic bag, Ziploc, and we're going to add the sauce and put it inside the fridge for about 4 hours. Remember, the longer, the better. After you take it out of the fridge, you have to let it reach room temperature before you start cooking it. So here's the meat. Going in the bag. And we are going to pour the sauce inside. the sauce is going in. And massage it. Close it up so you won't spill it. Close it up. And then get rid of the air. Get rid of the air. And then I'm going to massage the meat. Massage it well so it'll absorb all these wonderful flavors. This is how you prepare the meat. You marinate it in a plastic bag for a concentration of flavors. For a concentration of flavors. The way Make with Love makes it. You see? You will love it. That's the way you prepare it. We're going to set the oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're going to prepare the tray for the pork. Prepare the tray with aluminum foil. Then we're going to add about 2 tablespoons to create steam so it would not get burned inside the oven. Place a tray inside the oven. The meat has to go on top of a rack. And place the meat here. I'm going to do both of them. I put both pieces of meat. I'm going to place a meat thermometer. And we're going to cook it for the first 15 minutes. Now when you cook big pieces of meat like this, I like to put the meat thermometer. And for the internal temperature of medium rare, it would be from 145 to 150 degrees Fahrenheit. For medium, it would be 150 to 155 degrees Fahrenheit. For medium well, is 155 to 160 degrees Fahrenheit. And for well done, it would go up to 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, first 15 minutes are up. We have to take it out to marinate it on both sides. This is with the same marinating that we had before inside the plastic bag. You have to keep it moist. We're going to be doing this periodically, every 15 minutes. Another 15 minutes are up. time to take it out again and lather the meat with the marinade on both sides. Oh my God, it's looking beautiful. Just beautiful. See? Yeah. Just lather both sides. Look at the crust, everyone. And we do the other side. Cover completely with the marinade. Just a few more minutes, we're almost done. Because at the end we're going to rub honey. We're going to brush some honey at the last minutes. I'll show you how to do it. Back again. Pop it back in the oven. Now we heat up for another 10 minutes, but we are going to put the honey. On both sides. This is the diluted honey. I'm going to brush it on both sides. Back in the oven. For 10 more minutes. Ten minutes are up. Now we have to raise the temperature to 450 degrees Fahrenheit and cook for 5 minutes. But before that, we have to brush it with the diluted honey, and that'll be the end of the process. It's a long process, but at the end it's worth it. Look at this beauty, folks. Isn't it a beautiful piece of meat? This is worth making. You won't regret it. Made it with Lao. Hey folks, hope you like this beauty. Remember, watch the videos on YouTube, Made with Lao, and he'll give you all this wonderful recipe. This is Chef Garcia from Hollywood giving you wonderful, wonderful recipes for you to enjoy. Thank you and have a good night. Delicious. Bubblicious. I love it. You're not gonna regret it. I'm gonna cut a piece so you can see how nice it came out. Very nice, firm, soft, juicy. See? Beautiful. All right, folks. Hope you liked it. This is made with Lao. Don't forget to look them up on YouTube for this wonderful, wonderful recipe. Got one more.